can be resourceful with that too. Our former president, Baba, Chief Obasanjo, mentioned that our youth, you will recall the age range in the definition of youth. He said that our youth, they are our future. You know, they said our youth are our future. And there are so many things. Please move on to, let me use the PowerPoint very quickly. There are so many, okay, please go back. Back. Let me really use my PowerPoint. Back. Okay. So the reason why, you know, my emphasis is on STEM. You know, the acronym. You know, we are all familiar with the word STEM: science, technology, engineering, mathematics. You know, there are several acronyms that go with this, but this is the one that is reigning now, and this is the stage where we really are. In the US and some developed countries, they've moved on to STEM. So I think I'm going to, I introduce you to this. I want to use the word STEM. The acronym STEM. The reason why I want to use STEM is that I mentioned that STEM means science, technology, education, mathematics, right? Engineering, you know. So, but I just want to mention that as an educationist, we also have another paradigm called multiple intelligences. How many of you are familiar with that? Okay, multiple intelligences. That if you have your children, watch them carefully. They have different ways of learning. So some are very good in science, some are good in mathematics, some are good, you know, the ones that are good in mathematics, they say that they are mathematically logical. They don't need to use calculator to do their, you know. They are very good. You ask them to calculate something, before you know it, they've gotten the answer. So they challenge other kids in the class. The other kids in the class just relax. Oh, in a mathematics class, I can't beat so and so. Then they also, on the other extreme, we have children that are very good in with the environment, trees. They are very good in going to the field. I recall as a child, when we were growing up, we had two science subjects in elementary school. Nature study and what's the second one? How many of you know? Nature study and hygiene. So whenever we are going to study, have a nature study and hygiene, these were the two science subjects for primary schools then. I found out that that's the time I'm happiest. So right from the beginning, I knew that I would be, you know, a scientist, because while you are teaching other subjects, I just manage to pay attention. But when it is time for nature study and hygiene, I come alive. So it still applies till today. If you watch your children and children in your classrooms, you will see when they are happiest. There are certain subjects, you know, that bore them, and when you are moving from where they will manipulate things like in science and they come alive. There are some children, you know, when they finish, you know, solving problems, you give them a test. They will come and challenge you and say, make it harder. I will still score 100%. So, such children, they came to challenge us and they will score 100%. So then we will now begin to look for grammar, spelling, you know, to reduce their mark. Yet, they will score 105. There are kids like that. till today. So why are we saying all this? Why are they moving on to STEM? They are not children. They are art students. They are art. They are very verbal. They can write very well. They can debate very well. They are arts. So if you put A in the appropriate place, you will see that STEM can change to STEM. So we want all children to apply STEM to all subjects. We want all these educated teachers not to leave any child behind. There are ways you can apply STEM to art, music, and so on and so forth. That will be the subject of a future conference, hands-on, where you really, for example, if a child is very good in tinkering, touching things, making things, the child is going to be an engineer. You need to be encouraged. So one of the applications of STEM is, for example, we know that you can solve quadratic equations using so many methods. Who can tell me one of the methods? Yes? Yes? I come youth. We are formula, almighty formula, we call it, right? Yes, another method. Substitution. What? Elimination, yes? And so on and so forth. How about giraffe method? Do you know giraffe method? You can also say, solve it by. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is that you can solve quadratic equation by real life application. For example, as when we were coming, the youth told me that the third mainland bridge is the longest bridge, right? In West Africa, third mainland bridge. For example, if I want to apply that, if I want to apply STEM to that, I can give him a project. Unfortunately, I don't have a choice. But let me just show that if you doubt, you didn't tell me about graphing method, that you can also use graph, to solve a quadratic equation, and it will give you a parabola. All right. If you look at the bridges, if you are passing a bridge, you will always see a parabola suspending the bridge, isn't it? Yes. So, one of the things you can do, there are ways of doing it. You can tell the child to go to the internet, pick any bridge in the world, and find out how you can solve the suspension of that bridge by using a quadratic equation, by trying to use a parabola to see the tensile strength of the bridge, how it is supported, why it is not collapsing. And how do you do that? The child will first of all find out, the curvature, that curvature, which is a parabola. Then the child will now use tiny matchstick to construct a parabola. And after doing that, the child can solve it, hands-on. That's a project. The child will do everything, English, mathematics, science, and so on. Application, using STEM to solve that. You can also use STEM to solve a biology, to teach a biology class. For example, if you want to teach microbes, we all know what microbes are, right? Yes. Okay, example, flagella, amoeba, edublina, paramecium, and so on and so forth. You can ask the child, it rained a couple of days ago. Some water, there are puddles. water standing. You can go outside and ask that child to bring water from those stands and ask the child to look into the microscope. Most of these microbes that I mentioned will be found there. You know, in fact, as they are looking at it, they'll be shouting, "Yay! Look at this!" It makes them happy that they are actually applying, you know, really seeing, not just opening a book and looking at it. They can see the real thing. Paramecium, amoeba, of course, everybody draws at paramecium because you can draw it with anything. Amoeba, you know, and so on. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make, these are some of the ways we practicalize, STEM. You can make soap in the class. In fact, instead of soap, to make them more interested in the subject, you can make ice cream. Do we have chemistry teachers here? All right, yeah, you can make ice cream using boiling point and cooling point and all those things. You can make ice cream, and after making it, the children now share benefit of their learning. They will never forget. They can never forget the concept you are trying to teach. You can even make soap if you want to learn acid and base and all those things. Make soap, color it, perfume it, and let them take it home and use it. And so these are some of the ways in which science will be taught. It's not a memorization. Because in the future, what they will eat with is what they make. Hands-on. One child cannot do it. They have to do it in a group. In the future, that's how we work. That's why Japan is very successful. They work in teams. You know, there are some children, you know, who cannot get along with people. So there are children, we call them kinesthetics. There are children, they can't sit in one place. They can't sit. They cannot sit down in your classroom. Of course, we know the teaching method to deal with such child. You keep them at the extreme end, and you put other people, because before they want to go out, they have to say, excuse. And the other children will not let them go out. So they now learn how to sit. All right? So, okay. So, some of the things we are trying to do is that, and the reason why Japan is very, very, you know, they're manufacturing, they start learning this cooperative learning. You assign roles to children in a group. By the end of that lesson, they have solved a problem, and they feel proud that they were able to do it. So the different children, the kinesthetics one, they will say, oh, you go and be bringing things from the table. The child will be happy to be going, moving, and coming back. Then you have verbal people, they are the one who will write the report, and so on and so forth. So, more or less, we are saying that STEM, you use all these acronyms together in solving a problem. And it has to start from elementary school. Elementary, the way you are going to use it in elementary school is different from the way you will use it in secondary school, the way you will use it in tertiary institution, which is real life. They get out from tertiary institutions, they are able to cope and work and cooperate with people. Is that clear to everybody? Yes. All right. So, I just want to mention that we should not feel bad that globally, even United States of America, please, the next slide. United States of America, they are also grappling with producing enough STEM educated people. They are grappling with it. There are statistics that, you know, UK is grappling with it. It's something that is all over the world. But, as actually mentioned by Baba Obasanjo, do not start training our children in this paradigm that our children are going to be left behind, that we should start now. Then, this is a UK, that graph is showing UK, that they are also grappling with it. You see how excited, you see how excited, that's a lesson in maybe mixed base, acid and base, pH and things like that. When the child gets the result, the child is very excited. Please, let's move quickly. Please, that figure. This is, I just want to show you the statistics of where we are saying that our youths are not, no, the president didn't say that. Somebody is saying that this president said we are lazy. No, he didn't say that. So, but what we are trying to show you is that these are where the jobs are. At present and in the future. And these are all STEM jobs. So we need to retrain. We need to retrain our youth, in being able to apply STEM to their work. And they will find jobs. This statistics is for US. A well-developed country. One of the most developed countries. But if they have such shortage, you can imagine what our shortage is and what our shortage will be in the future. So it is very, very urgent that we begin to retrain at all levels. That's one, please, that's one. So we need it, Africa. Otherwise, we will continue to import engineers from China and US to do our construct our infrastructure while we sit at home and lack job. We can't find job. Whereas the jobs are there, it's because we are not adequately trained to pick up the job. So I will quickly go on that these are some of the companies in Nigeria that are really interested and they are investing in STEM. That's what that table is showing. All right? They are investing and they are in Nigeria. So if you've not been investing in STEM, these are some of you that are proprietors. Approach companies and tell them that you need help with STEM. No, somebody said, but with God all things are possible. I'm not preaching. All right, so these are some of the companies that are already investing and much more. That is, all right, so well, what more or less saying that we outsource our STEM jobs. So you will even see Chinese in our markets. They are not afraid. They know what they are doing. They will take over the infrastructural construction and all kinds of things. They will also go to the markets. And very soon you will see them have tables in our markets selling to us. And you see them. When they are hungry, they go and eat amala. They buy a bar. That's adaptation. They are adapting to our country. So that is part of STEM. We live in a global world now. You have to adapt globally. Okay, so we are just showing you more statistics about different countries, sub-Saharan countries. We show different. What is blue for? Blue and red. Huh?
Distance to the goal achieved.
Okay, so we are struggling to catch up with the world. Not only is it urgent, but immediately we are not just going to say start crawling. We have to jump like frog. You know how frogs leap and jump to be able to catch up with them. Otherwise, our youth will be left behind. So, okay, time off. So, go on. So, don't say that it is only boys who will become engineers. Girls don't like mathematics. My daughter used to be like that. Somebody was telling, you are a girl, you don't need to, Then she was also believing that she cannot be good in mathematics and become an engineer. So I now grabbed her. I said, come, my child will not be handicapped. So I started teaching her myself. I said, people are scaring you that girls are not good in mathematics and things like that. I just grabbed her and said, look, I will teach you. And I started teaching her because when I was going to school too, very few boys, the boys dominated STEM. So while I was with them, they would say, if you are too smart, you will not find a husband. You continue, if you are too smart, you will not find someone to marry you. So when I meet my group, I make sure I grab my husband and say, I got married though, I make sure. So what I'm saying is that boys and girls are talented. They have the brain to tackle STEM. You have to be empowering, verbally empowering the children in your class. Tell them that you are capable of doing it. You are capable of doing it. Thank you very much. So for those of you who came in after they've said welcome, I welcome you again.
A round of applause for me, please. A round of applause for me. While the speech was going on, I was all around. It's time. But someone said you could see that she's a natural teacher. She just didn't want to leave. She was just dishing it out, and we were all enjoying it. Thank you so much, Ma. On behalf of the people in the audience, I'd like to say if we could get the slides sent to our emails, we would really appreciate it because we could not see it when the lecture was going on. So we'll get the slides sent to your email. The next person who I'll be calling up here is someone who's supposed to speak later, but because of the kind of person she is, we'll have to move her forward. Now, she's someone who's known for excellence in education and in everything that she does. So I'm not going to waste too much time talking about her profile. I told you, the people that we have here today have really long profiles and we're not going to be able to read everything. But I'll just mention one thing. I'm sure we've all heard of TOSE, right? If you haven't heard of TOSE, I don't know what you're doing in education, really. If you've not heard of TOSE, you shouldn't be in education. TOSE is the biggest education fair and show in Africa, and that is a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Yinka Ogunde.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Tola, thank you for moving me here because I have about 3 places to go to today, and I just said that let me come to the one that is closest to my house first and dash in there and then move again. I must congratulate Tola for putting this together. Please, can we all give her a round of applause? The reason being that when you are passionate about something, it is no longer a function of what you can get from that thing. And that is what she has displayed. Well done, Tola. And I'm sure that what you're actually trying to do, we may not see the returns immediately, but very soon this country is really going to see the effect of what she's depositing in lives like this, and our nation will be transformed. Well done. Mommy, Dr. Salau, thank you very much. You know, she said it was as if it was just so natural with her. She was just herself. She was just herself. And honestly, I'm almost praying that because of me, they had to sort of tell you to shorten it. I said, please, just leave her, let her flow. Let her flow. And she was saying, Baba Sojo. I said, no, don't go there. Don't go there. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished educators, it's a delight for me to be here today to see those who are actually committed to STEM education. I cannot overemphasize the importance of a conference like this at this period of our nation's history. It is something that if we're going to change the educational discourse, we cannot ignore STEM. If things are not the way it should be in our nation, it puts a lot of burden on educators. The reason being that you are the one putting together the kind of nation we're going to have in the next few years. You are the one bringing up those who will be working. You are the ones bringing up those who will be making key decisions. Let me give you a little example. Our entertainment industry a few years ago, it was as if it was non-existent. Now, every child wants to be a singer. Every little girl wants to be an actress. Every boy is as if that is the only profession that we have now. And that is because I believe the government suddenly turned and made the whole scenario very attractive. Practitioners within that sector, whether rightly or wrongly, they got their acts together and they started churning out movies. Some, you will look at those movies, you'll be asking yourself, what is the theme, what is the plot? Where are they going, where are they coming? Have you experienced all that before? It is, if we even go to that scenario, I wonder how somebody can have the same hairstyle from age 15 to age 70. It is only in Nigerian movie that you will see that. And the clock at the back of their wall will not change, even if they're in Japan. And they are telling us that this is what it is the same thing. But they have grown and they are evolving. And they have made the industry to become attractive. So as I was listening to Dr. Salau, I was asking myself, what will it take to make STEM education attractive? What will it take for every child to become something that they will just love to do? What will it take to promote, to encourage inquisitiveness and curiosity in our children? How would we go about it? Are we going to start by educating the parents? Are we going to start by educating the teachers? What are we going to do? I believe that those are some of the things that you will be looking at this conference. Because even the parents, you can't ignore some of us. I remember that my little nephew, the small boy those days is now going to be a big boy. If you ask me to wear the television in front of me, if there's even to connect it with the video and just put it together, do you know that I don't know how to do it? By the time the thing, because I put it on, is not turning off, I bland it, I do it, I give up, and then I move to other things. And do you know what we will say? We just say, we will wait till Ayomide comes. He will come and help us with this. During the Ayomide, by the time Ayomide comes, most times he will pieces this one, pieces down. Everybody will be screaming, Ayomide has come, oh, Ayomide has come, oh. He has scattered all the equipment in the house. Oh. He said he's repairing this, he said he's repairing that in the house. We all used to scream at Ayomide. Thank God the boy remained very dogged in what he wanted and what he loved to do. Today, Ayomide has been to almost about 3 or 4 countries representing Nigeria in robotics. Wow. He just came back from Washington to representing Nigeria, and he's still yet to leave secondary school. And I'm saying, hey, thank God, we didn't beat him too much when he was running all the equipment in the house and he was catching everything. Do you know, we parents, we beat curiosity out of them. We will say, yeah, even I was screaming, my this, what is your business to do? You have scattered it again. Look at it, you have scattered it. Meanwhile, he was learning. Meanwhile, that, he said, I just want to know what is behind that thing. What is, now that you have spoiled it, put it back again. Now you see yourself, you can't put it back again. Now we will continue. So parents also, they are part of the advocacy campaign, even for STEM education. So when you have the opportunity, when you are in your parent-teachers meeting, look for ways of even making STEM education a part of the discourse. Tell the parents what to do. Tell them the future of Nigeria depends on the kind of children that we are able to raise. And that's the critical thing that the education sector is facing now. We must help our country. We must help our leaders. In spite of themselves, despite themselves, despite the circumstances, we must choose to do the right thing. If every other sector is failing, the education sector cannot afford to fail. That is the reality. But we have ignored the welfare of teachers. We have ignored the provision of equipment. I'm sure Tola can say it, that if she goes to any ministry and presents a budget for their need on STEM education, what will they do? They will postpone it and say, keep in view. Keep in view. If you go to any bank or anything and you say that you want to do something that will inspire the children to cultivate some things that will make them to become more STEM compliant, you may have to wait for quite a long while to get your approval. But if you come up with a big brother project, what will happen to it immediately? Immediately you are endorsed and you get it. Immediately you are endorsed. That's the reality of our nation today. I want us to understand the reality. Because once we understand the reality, it's now easier for us to begin to say, where do we go? How do we progress? As an industry, as a sector, what are the things that we need to do? So when we come together like this, there are various schools here, there are private school teachers, there are public school teachers, we are able to deliberate and to connect and say, what are the takeaways for me from this conference? I want to go back to my school. I want to start a STEM club. I want to make a proposal to the owner of my school and tell them these are the things that we need. We need to inspire those children. We need to get them thinking. We need to set them on fire. We need to encourage them so that they don't all become makeup artists. I'm not saying makeup artists is not good. I mean, I love them. I mean, thank God for them. They make all of us look glamorous. If it's a wedding now, you see my gele. It is everywhere. But that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that as a country, we need the balance. You're saying Dr. Salau was talking about the Chinese already coming into our nation. We don't want to wait for people to build our bridges. We want to develop children who can do that and who will also choose to stay in Nigeria. The enormity of the task before educators now, it is almost, it is a sacred calling. It is no longer a for pay, just for my pay thing. That is the only thing I want to leave with educators this morning. That you are not in it just for the pay alone again. It is a call to service. It is a call to transform Nigeria. It's a call to support our children at a time when there is no support. At a time when a lot of things are not the way it should be. It has to be a conscious and intentional decision. I want to thank you on behalf of Tola for all of you being here this morning, and I wish you all the best. I wish you great celebrations, and I'm looking forward to the outcome of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Now, she said some really pertinent things that I would like us to really hold to heart. Now, when you come for conferences like this, when you come for trainings like this, I always stress this. When you leave, please make sure you take away something with you, something that will resonate with you, something that you want to work on. And when you have those things, do not just keep it to yourself. Go online, share. So you leave this place, you make a post. These are my nuggets for today. These are the things that I learned today. Someone else will go online, see that, and that will start another thread. The reason why I'm saying this is because the last two speakers and the person who gave us the welcome address also talked about the value of conversations, discourse. When we start having conversations about the things that matter to us as a nation, we're on the path to getting it right. That's my opinion. Because STEM is something that is important. When we come for conferences like this, and we talk about how relevant STEM is, and we talk about how we can actually make STEM better in our country, we are on the path to getting it right. We're not there yet, but we are on that path. Before she leaves, I would like to present an award to her, because she's someone who deserves all the recognition and all the applause that she can get, because she has done so well for education in Nigeria that it's something that is worth celebrating. The first time I met her was at TOSE, and when I saw her from afar, I knew that this was someone that you could look up to, so someone that was worthy of emulation. And throughout that time, up till now, she has never disappointed. Every forum that you meet her, she always comes across shining, and she always has something important to say that I will take home and I will say, she said this. If you've not joined our group, it's Concerned Parents and Educators on Facebook, please do. It's somewhere where you can learn a lot. People from different industries, they come, they give you their opinion about what's happening in education, and you as an educator, you can actually use that to influence what you do in your classroom. I'd like to call on Mrs. Tola Salau and Mrs. Yinka Ogunde to please come to the podium where she represented with the award.
Thank you. On behalf of all of us teachers, parents, school owners, in fact, I would just say all of Nigerians, we want to recognize you, Auntie, for the wonderful work that you've been doing in the educational sector. Like Larry said, where do we even begin to thank you? You are indeed worthy of emulation. You are someone who has touched our lives in so many ways, and we know that you desire nothing but excellence for our nation. So we want to say thank you for being an educational gladiator. I hope you all know what gladiators are. She is a gladiator. She fights for our children. So please clap for her again.
Yes. So while Tola was presenting the award, Mommy came to me and actually reminded me that was something that I forgot to mention about Mrs. Yinka Ogunde. She's someone who thrives on encouraging youth. She has a knack for bringing out the best in people when she meets them. I'll say this because she serves as an unofficial matron for a team that I'm a member of, the Education Redefining team. Ever since the inception of this team, she's always been supporting us. You see her at different forums, she comes and she tells you, this is what I want. Collaboration. So today, if you're here, there's someone you're not seen for a while, there's someone you've seen on Facebook that you'd like to meet, please network. Collaboration is key. She'll also be receiving the award for one of our guests who unavoidably is absent today, Mrs. Bolaji Osimhen. Mrs. Bolaji Osime is a multipreneur with diverse interests in the area of education. She is the proprietress of Global International College. I'm sure you've heard of Global International College. If you want to say anything about overseas education, if you want to study outside Nigeria, Global International College is the place to be. On behalf of Mrs. Bolaji Osime, we'll say a big thank you to you, Mrs. Inga Okunde, for receiving this award for Mrs. Bolaji Osime as an educational gladiator. A round of applause for her, please.
Yes. On behalf of Mrs. Bolaji Osime and myself, I want to say thank you, Tola, for honoring us this way. Truly, we appreciate it. And Bolaji specifically asked me to extend her warm regards. She had to be in Ibadan for a very pressing family engagement, which she could not really shelf. The first text I received this morning was from her, and she was saying that I must make sure I collect it and I must say a word on her behalf. I said I will certainly say a word, because apart from things that you see, a lot of us are actually working behind the scene to impact education. We have what we call the reformation team, consisting of people like myself, like Bolaji Osime, like Alero Ayide Otowo, and quite a number of us deliberating on how to move education forward. And you will also see that, just like you mentioned, the concerned parents and educators, we never in our wildest dreams actually planned it to be what it has turned out to be. But we recognize the hand of God in anything that we're doing. And it's grown to over 64,000 members as of this morning. Educators from various parts of the country and outside. And that means we want to speak with a unified voice. We want to be strong enough to advocate for reforms. And those are the things that we're doing behind the scene. So you keep holding on, doing your bit above the scene, and we will be on the ground, providing all the support that you need. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, ma. So in case you need support, you heard the names that she mentioned, please go online, please look up these people. All the support that you need is available for you. Like mommy also said, she gave us, there was a slide where she had a list of companies, bodies that are supporting STEM education and even education generally.
About that, you will recall that when I was presenting AFRICA, I mentioned that my daughter used to be afraid of mathematics. And I told her, no, you cannot be afraid of mathematics. So, because people are saying so. That, the reason why many children are afraid of certain subjects, it's because of teachers who do not encourage them. But now, one-to-one, and I will teach you, and I will make it interesting to you, and you will see that very soon you will get to like it. So, during that time, at our backyard, I'll be tracking the California, and I'll be giving it, and I'll be teaching. So, that is called, in psychology, it is called positive reinforcement. So, as we are learning, something she's afraid of, because I was reinforcing her positive, not with a pain, which is where we go wrong. When a child is having the something, the pain is there. The child focus is on the pain. But that time, at our backyard, we didn't have it. But any subject, maths that I do, so more or less what I'm saying is at that time, what I was showing her, I'm not only a mother, I can get out to my level, and the process is getting much knowledge. Secondly, when she comes home with hunger, the exercise, they got the homework. If they ask them to do 5, and if there is 30 exercises to do, 30 I will make sure that it's gradually all. She may not finish and be happy, but I will make sure that she finishes the exercise. So if she's able to finish the exercise, I don't know where the teacher will get the test or exam for. This is the start of the exercise. Because every exercise I make sure to finish it. So after a while, she now started challenging teachers. Give me any one. So these are some of the things mothers can do. Come back to children. Use what you have to encourage them to learn the exercise. And after that, they will begin to enjoy it. These are some of the things that I do myself. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your patience. You know, we started since morning and it's past 5 and we are still going and still working. May God bless everybody. Thank you very much for your endurance and patience.
Okay, Ma, can you tell us your view concerning today's program?
Well, to God be the glory. One of the choruses that we sing, we say this is the day that the Lord has made, and the glad and the glad in it. So that is how I feel, that certainly it is the Almighty God that gave us a good weather. It rained yesterday, it rained the day before yesterday, but today the weather is very good, the traffic is good, and beyond our expectation, the crowd is marvelous and they're very cheerful because we didn't give them, we didn't entertain much, and yet people are still jubilant. Thank you very much. Thank the Almighty for making it possible and successful. It was very successful. That is, apart from STEM power, that is human power. You know, the power of what human beings can do.
Okay, Ma, while we were giving the address, we spoke about building interest in STEM subjects for children. I know that a lot of children, like you mentioned your data, have issues with maths, but we were able to merge that with some people. So what's your advice to teachers and equally parents?
Yeah, I also mentioned multiple intelligence. Multiple intelligences. There are 8 of them. Howard Gardner of Howard College of Education, Harvard, propounded a great theory that there are 8 to 9 intelligences that children have. Some of them is logical, those who are very logical, and they are also mathematical. There are children that do have interpersonal relationships. They get along with people easily. There are some children that are introverts. They do not get along with the other children very well. But everything they want to say is in their mind. They are very good with their hands. Some of them endowed with an intelligence which is called kinesthetics. Kinesthetics are the athletes you see now, athletes and dancers and everything. Their time is here now. People are now beginning to appreciate them. They dance, dancing is very easy for them. They jump, they run. These are some of the intelligences. Before, we used to discourage our children. Oh, I want you to be rich. I want you to be a medical doctor. I want you to be a lawyer. Every intelligence is very important. All we have to do is encourage them to do what they like. However, the reason why we are stressing STEM and stressing multiple intelligences, we have seen actors and actresses who make so much money because they are not interested in the mathematics and the accounting of this. They make the money and other people spend it and want it to go back to it. Therefore, we are encouraging children, in spite of what you excel at, whatever you excel at, you should also know to integrate all other aspects into what you are very good at, so that you'll be able to focus on your fun, so that you'll be able to come out in public and talk. Some people are so shy, they become petrified when you ask them to get up and talk. We have to encourage children to know how to utilize other intelligence. That's why the stress that you become an hour long, don't just focus that I'm good at this, and that's what I'm going to be focused on. You have to do all of that things to make sure that you don't make too much money. I want to say the money is no money because you are not interested in that. And so on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
To God be the glory, because one of the choruses that we sing, we say, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it." So that is how I feel, that certainly it is the Almighty God that gave us good weather. It rained yesterday, it rained day before yesterday. But today the weather is very good, the traffic is good, and beyond our expectation, the crowd is marvelous, and they are very cheerful because we didn't entertain much, and yet people are still jubilant. Thank you very much, and we thank the Almighty for making it possible and successful. It was very successful. That is, apart from STEM power, that is human power. The power of what human being can do. Yeah, I also mentioned multiple intelligence, multiple intelligences. There are 8 of them. Howard Gardner of Howard College of Education, Harvard, propounded this theory that there are 8 to 9 intelligences that children have. Some of them is logical, those who are very logical, and they are also mathematical. There are children that do have interpersonal relationships. They get along with people easily. There are some children that are introverts. They do not get along with other children very well. But everything they want to say is in their mind. They are very good with their hands. Some of them are, endowed with an intelligence which is called kinesthetics. Kinesthetics are the athletes you see now, athletes and dancers and everything. Their time is here now. People are now beginning to appreciate them. They dancing is very easy for them. They jump, they run. These are some of the intelligences. Before, we used to discourage our children. Oh, I want you to be this. I want you to be a medical doctor. I want you to be a lawyer, Every intelligence is very important. All we have to do is encourage them to be what they like. However, the reason why we are stressing STEM and stressing multiple intelligences, we have seen actors and actresses who make so much money because they are not interested in the mathematics and the counting of it. They make the money and other people spend it, and 1, 2, 3, they go bankrupt. Therefore, we are encouraging children that in spite of what you excel at, whatever you excel at, you should also know and integrate all other aspects into what you are very good at, so that you'll be able to focus on your funds, so that you'll be able to come out in public and talk. Some people are so shy, they become petrified when you ask them to get up and talk. We have to encourage children to be all-rounded, at least know how to utilize other intelligences. So that's why we stress that you become an all-rounder. Don't just focus that I'm good at this and that's what I'm going to be focused on. You have to do all other things to make sure that you don't make too much money and 1, 2, 3, the money is no more there because you are not interested in mathematics and so on. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So I used to tell my daughter, Oreoluwa means gift from God, that I'm a gift from God to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.